Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the RiftGuides Wild Rift video. Today we're going to talk about 20 of the most broken champions and their obviously OP builds, and something else because you can save big money on every of your skin purchases. Just hang in there and let's start with the first champion. The Rengar rework is hitting quite hard and his champion is now absolutely god tier material. His jungle got better, his itemization choices also got better, his snowball potential got better, and everything this champion had even got better with the recent rework. So if you're interested in one-tricking a champion, Rengar is your choice to be. However, this champion is going to be frequently banned, so good luck picking this champion, but if you ever get him, you are bound to have at least a wonderful experience because you are the one that hunts. Next up we have Karma. This absolute demonic existence of a supportive champion, or rather a mage-like champion, is an absolute lane stomper. The damage of your first ability just with the AP boots is going to be unparalleled, and the setup you have with the empowered second ability into ult into your empowered first ability with a meteor combo is too insane to not use. You always one-shot people, they have to always be aware of you, they have to even build more against you if they don't want to get a one-shot, and you are supposedly a support champion. Next up we have Lissandra, which is the absolute queen of setup when it comes to mid lane ganks for the jungle. The damage of this champion is also quite insane, just for the fact that you don't really need much of an investment. But if you're facing Lissandra, please take the Perseverance rune, it's going to make your life so much better. But if you're not having this rune, and the Lissandra is playing duo queue with the jungle, you just get a one-shot on cooldown. Also, her teamfight potential is quite insane, she just needs one kill, and then these frozen thralls are going to run around and kill everyone. And now before we continue, it's time for FIEND QUELLER to be released tomorrow, or rather this night. And if you want to save a lot of money on wild calls while spending these for the event, then make sure to check out the link in the description below. Here are the prices. They differentiate between regions, but you get a pretty goddamn good deal in Europe. Let me tell you this one, I also love it. And just make sure to use my Discord code KIRKS10. By using this code, you can actually claim these prices on the graphics, otherwise you have to pay extra. And if you want to hoard some of the wild calls with a decent top up, then you should do so now, because the wild calls will be more expensive in I think 1 week, because Riot claimed something about increasing prices. Different regions are getting a lot more expensive, so if you want to get these offers right now when they're still cheap, join the Discord in the description below, use my discount code, and well, you're going to save a lot of money. Anyways, now let's get back to the champions. On number 4 we have Kassadin, the elo hack champion. This damage of this champion is absurd, just with boots on mana, sudden impact, and well, Prophet's Pendant. He's gonna one-shot you on level 5 for supposedly scaling champion. Another interesting scaling champion who is also a duelist is Fiora. This champion has been buffed and it's quite the insane champion right now. You basically win every 1v1 in side lane and you scale like an absolute unit. You start one-shotting people on 2 items, 3 items. You can even enjoy the Eclipse on Fiora with the high AD value. The only thing that's a tiny bit difficult is piloting this champion on the map, because you have to be really aware of what is happening around you, because your champion during teamfights is certainly not the best. Next up we have the absolute god of this game, and it's going to be Varus. Varus is broken in the Baron lane, in mid lane, in the AD carry department, in the support department, and even in the jungle department. This champion can be picked in every single role and is really good in every of these. And this champion just has so many different builds, so many different options, but just take one option here, and you can also check out the leaderboard for this champion, because technically speaking, it doesn't even matter what items you got on this champion, because this champion, like the kit of the champion, is so broken that the items are just, you know, like the cherry on top. But this champion with good items is an absolute monster. With the buffs to lethal tempo, Tristana has also become even more of a powerhouse, but more of a mid lane monster. If you're not aware, you can play mid lane Tristana and absolutely demolish the opposition. You have hard push, you have tower sieging, you have scaling, and with the buffed lethal tempo that now provides you 50% more attack speed in the early game, or rather 50% more attack speed per stack. However, you lose the bonus attack speed on fully completing the stacks. You still have some extra added range, which makes it even more powerful. It feels a lot better running this rune before being fully stacked, and now with the extra range, it's even more insane. So please take a look at Tristana with lethal tempo in the mid lane and enjoy your time stomping people like Super Mario. Sources claim that Viego has been nerfed and is now a lot weaker, but we call cap on that one. Viego is still fundamentally broken and very insane just because of his kit. They've nerfed his first ability I think twice now, and the passive also twice, but this champion still one-shots you, so how does it make sense? This champion is still absolutely broken. You could go crit, you could go on hit, you could go whatever you want. This champion is insane. A champion that follows closely in terms of brokenness for the Baron lane is going to be Aatrox. If this champion gets to scale and gets to reset during a team fight, with his ultimate he has infinite AD and infinite sustain, sustain. You need to lock this champion down and one-shot this champion, otherwise this champion will run through your entire team and kill you and constantly sustain. And just giving him one kill, just one reset, gives him such a surge of movement speed that he's going to find your backline in Narnia, downtown, Atlanta, New York, wherever you are, he's gonna locate you and run you down. A champion which is absolutely crazy right now is Camille after the buffs and the power of Sundered Sky. This champion simply doesn't die, has too much HP, and kills every tank champion in side lane. Also the lockdown potential, the rotational potential, all of this what this champion offers is insane. You lock down somebody with your ult, you pop up the meteor, and the person simply dies. There's not much they can do about this. It is quite the insane champion. And as for the laning phase, you can just use your second ability for Omega range and just space them to Narnia. They can't really do anything to you unless you want them to do something to you. But if you have a jungle coming by on level 5, it's an easy kill, just press ultimate and it's over. Speaking of ultimates, we have Riven. This champion, ever since she got buffed to have a reset on her ultimate ability, has reached new heights. This champion was decent before, but now it is absolutely insane as well. You just need one reset during a team fight for which you only have to deal damage to a target to then kill it. At any point, you just need to kill it at any point. It doesn't matter with your ultimate, with your auto attack, with your Q, just as long as your ult is running and you have used your wind slash already, killing any target will reset the ongoing ultimate to give you another charge of that AoE execute ability. The damage of this ability was never nerfed, in fact it was even buffed, so enjoy your time one-shotting people with this champion because your champion is absolutely disgusting in top lane and in jungle. The next one is a personal one. You know, Riot has just nerfed Seraphine and they reduced the healing and the cooldown of the second ability, but for whatever reason they didn't touch the shielding, which doesn't make any sense because in order to have effective healing, you need to take damage. If you don't take any damage, what does the healing even matter? With Seraphine, right now we have a very interesting champion that just has to spam her second ability constantly, and she will never die, nor will her teammates. There's infinite shielding, infinite utility, and just a very annoying champion to face when she has to do nothing. Another favorite of mine is going to be Vi. Riot thought this champion was weak or something, but for some reason they kept on buffing her. She received buff 1, buff 2, buff 3, buff 4, and I think we are at buff 5. And now she is like kind of a Thanos champion. She goes full bruiser, can even go heartsteel, one-shots you, takes infinite damage, has no cooldown because all items have like insane ability haste, and she just one-shots 80 carries. It's a very interesting balance decision to make this champion as good as she is with as simple as she is. Also, the lockdown of her ultimate is just such an easy gank setup. Just imagine you play Vi Camille every game. It's just impossible to survive. And both can also be running meteor to make it even worse for you. But there's one champion that makes life even more miserable, and it's Zhao. This champion has probably been the bane of most laners ever since, because this champion just walks into your lane with phase rush, runs you down, kills you, and even if you have played at steel caps, like even if he has played at steel caps, he just walks into your jungle, kills you, and you're like, but I have damage items, how do I lose? Because this champion is severely overtuned. In super late game, he might not even be the most broken champion, but getting to that point, he has so many tools. He can go full bruiser, he has an ultimate to just deflect damage, and he can just do so much. He can still one-shot an 80 carry if the 80 carry doesn't itemize into Zhao. It is absolutely the most disgusting jungle champion to face in current WildRift. Speaking of disgusting, we have tank Yasuo mid lane. This champion has barely any bad matchups. You survive everything, you can't die, you're annoying, you have a wind wall that counters 80 carries, you're like everything everyone hates at the same time, and you still manage to go 0-10. Just how do you do it? I need to know, how do you do 0-10 with the current Yasuo if you go tank Yasuo? It is borderline impossible unless you're inting, so if you are just enjoying some pain for the enemy, do yourself a favor, pick up Yasuo and spread some agony across the rift. By the way, I was lying when I talked about the most disgusting jungle champion. It's actually still Talon. This champion finds you after all the nerfs and one-shots you still. All you have to do is max your first ability first. Don't go for the second ability max. It is a bait. You deal so much more damage with the first ability max. And yeah, just learn how to properly jump the walls and you'll be very much fine. You can also debate going for very interesting items like full lethality into Sundered Sky, because then your next auto attack will obviously automatic crit, and if you go close to hit the enemy with an auto attack Q auto attack, your auto attack will crit thanks to Sundered Sky, your Q will crit anyway, and then your auto attack that comes after does add some extra damage as well. Next up, we probably have one of the most overbuffed AD carries in recent history, and we have Ezreal. empowerment, or rather PTA, makes this champion so powerful. Auto attack instantly procs it, and the damage is absolutely disgusting during the laning phase. Even Draven level 1 can lose a 1v1 against this champion, and this champion in general can win most of the laning phases because he's not weak during the early game, simply due to the sheer power of how his champ functions. His Q level 1 against a tank target does, I think, 113 damage. That is batshit crazy. And obviously this wouldn't be a list of broken champions if we didn't add Yone. Yone in the Baron lane is an absolute menace, and even in the mid lane. The jungle is probably weaker out of all the roles, but if you get to scale on Yone, it doesn't even matter anymore. You need 2 items and then the game is over unless the enemy has like 4 items. You still 180 carries as it is. For me, the most important part about Yone is learning how to play around lethal tempo. It's very important that you understand how much damage you deal during an all-in and when you have to back off. Because often it looks like you might be losing, but then since your damage ramps up so massively with the increase of attack speed because your cooldowns go lower, it is quite the insane feat how you simply win by out-muscling people the moment you hit an item spike. Speaking about item spikes and champions that can run the most obscure item builds and still one-shot you, and here we have Akali. Akali can go full tank and one-shot you, she can go full AP and one-shot you. You can even build more into a full AP Akali and still die, and all she has to do is hit her third ability and you get 100 to 0. The only difference that happens if you have more against an Akali, she at least has to hit her E, otherwise she doesn't really kill you. This, by the way, goes for a lot of matchups of Akali. Level 5 you can just press ultimate on anyone and kill them. It really happens and it's so easy in most instances. It's really stupid what this champion can do. Speaking about stupid, we have Jaximus, Yakula in the Baron lane. This champion is a scaling nightmare. He takes down towers within seconds, he's an anti-auto attack demon king, and he has a few builds that you can run for. You can go AP, you can go AD, you can go Bruiser, you can go whatever your heart desires. You can even go like AP, Bruiser, Tank. It's like a very interesting champion. But the most important part about this champion is, it is absolutely insane if you get to win side lane, and not many champions stomp a Jax. They might keep him at bay for some time, but the moment Jax hits level 5 and gets to scale towards his first item, he will simply dive you, take down your tower, go for toxic traits, and then you have to send multiple people to stop the Jax, and Jax is pretty damn good into multiple people at the same time. If your jungle comes by and he's not a champion that is absolutely the apex predator of the jungle, you might just get one-shot by the Jax, who doesn't even have 2 items. And with that, we're at the end of this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check out the sweet deals that we have in the description below. You'll save a lot of money, and just make sure to not overspend what you can in Wild Rift. It's still a game, don't waste all your money, but if you actually buy, don't waste money and give them too much when you can get it a lot cheaper. Don't forget to use Kirk's 10, and we'll see you for more content very soon. Bye bye.